Ladies and gentlemen, this is a new era in the Huddle. WYGL Podcast. The Real Lil Show.
On Dabo Swinney and Mike Gundy with their racial slur allegations and T-shirts that they each wore. What's going on with this, man?
All right, Kenny C, let me start with this, man. I have a lot to say, and I'm very passionate about the subject, so here we go. I obviously want to let you guys know, I'm all for the BLM movement. I respect change. It has to happen, no doubt about it. But what I also will say is this. I think a lot of times on social media, people get a little, I don't even want to say too offended, but they look into situations a little too deep, and it's almost like they need something to complain about. And I feel like with Mike Gundy, that's what happened here. Chuba Hubbard, the running back on Oklahoma State that came out and, really commented on this and led this whole movement. He led college football in rushing last year, and he decided to come back to Oklahoma State, and he was draft eligible. Mike Gundy's been the head coach of Oklahoma State for 20 years, and he's run a pretty successful program. For the people saying he should be fired, and there were reports that, that were saying that could be the case just for wearing a T-shirt, and he came out less than 2 days later and apologized, and now no one's talking about it. I feel like that tells me all I need to know.
Players express their feelings as individuals and as team members. They helped me see through their eyes how the T-shirt affected their hearts. Once I learned how that network felt about Black Lives Matter, I was disgusted and knew it was completely unacceptable to me. I want to apologize to all members of our team, former players, and their families for the pain and discomfort that has been caused over the last 2 days.
Is that society just always needs something to complain about? And was what he did, the best thing in the world? No, but I don't know. I just think it was a little bit of an overreaction, especially when you look at the situation a little deeper.
So I'm going to talk about the Dabo Swinney incident first, but let me start off by saying racism should not be a part of our society, nor should be a part of sports. With these allegations, these are serious allegations about the two coaches with these incidences. My personal belief is, and I think it should be everybody's, not trying to offend anybody whatsoever, discrimination, racism, none of that should be in our society. None of that should be in sports. We're all people. We should all try and get together. I know it would be a tough ask for some people, but we just got to all try and get along, plain and simple. But now, back to the Dabo Swinney incident, because I was getting a little confused by it, because a lot of people were going to Dabo's defense. Christian Wilkins, Miami defensive tackle, DeAndre Hopkins, who's now the Cardinals receiver, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, who's the current Clemson quarterback. They were all backing him. I was just confused. Leo, anyone who wants to jump in, I was confused on what exactly happened. Was it the coach that said?
I think a former player that played for Clemson came out.
Yeah, he tweeted it out.
And tweeted that Dabo Swinney used a racial slur.
Oh, that he used it.
In his time there, he heard
in his time there.
That's
I think it was two players. It was multiple players. It was like two players.
I think it says a lot because we don't know. We hear reports about what people say, and we don't know. We weren't there. These words should not be said, clearly. But taking it from the people who are backing him, Christian Wilkins, DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, all former players, current players, if they're backing him, knowing who he is, I'm taking their word in a heavy manner because they know the man. They played for him for 3 to 4 years. They know who he is as a person, and hopefully they know that what he would and would not say. So I was looking into a different situation, but man, this is just people just got to know, man. People just got to know. Just please be respectful, please. I just don't get it.
I would say this, Zach, to go back to your point with Mike Gundy here, I agree. I do feel like society has gotten a lot sensitive. Trust me, this is a sensitive society, and I'm not about to go the route of politics because I could go here on a rant about politics.
Look, that's how you and I became boys, man.
Exactly, but at the same time, that's how I'm able to be on the show with y'all. Because if I went on the daggone rants that I felt like I wanted to go on the WSUC 90.5 airways, I probably would have got kicked out of college. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I slightly will kind of disagree. Yes, I believe Mike Gundy has the right to wear whatever shirt that he wants to wear. I don't think it's different than Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney wore a Football Matters shirt in the light of a black movement, a Black Lives Matter movement. So I can see why we could be upset at that. With regards to Gundy's shirt, it's not about the shirt. It's a One News network. It's the news that he watched. So I don't think it's more about the shirt, but I do believe that Mike Gundy has a history of bringing politics into the sports realm. Because I have a lot of notes here. In November 2018, he went on a signature rant.
In the world today, there's a lot of entitlement. I'm a firm believer in the snowflake. I think it's setting there. And I'm not talking about Tabo. Tabo and I have had multiple good talks. I'm talking about every millennial young person, Generation Z, I think is what they call them. Don't get me on politics.
He's a believer in snowflakes and that liberalism is ruling the country. He went on a rant like that. I remember when he went on another rant, and then he went on another one in 2020 when he said that he stumbled on One America News Network, the network that he got caught wearing the shirt for, and in his opinion, is not the left or right learning, it's only facts reported. So my thing here is not, I don't have a problem with Mike Gundy wearing that shirt. I have a problem with him forcing the politics and bringing the politics into the setting of college football. Obviously, I guess they're against the Black Lives Matter movement. That's just a small part of that network. And I know people that like certain people in office for different reasons, right, other than certain things. So some people you just can't talk politics with. But I have a friend, and he said something. He went on a rant the other day, and he said something that I totally didn't agree with. But I ain't say, yo, I'm gonna cancel him. I called the brother up. We talked about it, and we realized we had to agree to disagree, and we kept it moving. Now was it. And I think with this Mike Gundy situation, wearing the shirt, all right, you may not be a fan of it, but at the same time, Mike Gundy, you do need to know that you cannot bring your politics into college football. Know that you're a head coach, you're a leader of a Division I school, and you're going to be watched. You're going to be looked at. And it's not like Mike Gundy's one of them Division III guys. He's a known coach. He's a very, very known and respected coach in the league. Kenny C, talk to me.
Listen, man, I was taught to never talk politics with your friends because it only leads to fights and arguments. And I mean, I guess that's what we're seeing here, but on a national level. You're the head coach, like Zach said, 20 years this man's been here. He's done a pretty damn good job at Oklahoma. Sometimes it's better to just not say anything at all if you know there's gonna be backlash. Yes, he's entitled to his opinion, but that's on you if you want to say that, because then you're gonna have players like Hubbard that are gonna try to come at you and try to counteract what you're about because they don't agree with that. So on a level of, on a personal level, maybe it's best to just keep it neutral, man.
Honestly, perfectly said.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I completely agree. Politics, it's like two things you don't bring up: politics and religion, because there's gonna be fights left and right between people, and people are allowed to have differences between politics and religion. That's just common nature. The one thing I will say, we don't know that Mike Gundy's intentions, but racism is not a decision. Okay, that is one thing sure. I will say, because there is no right and wrong, there is no politics behind it. That is just a discrimination act against a group of people, and that's just not right. That cannot be in a locker room. Politics. That shouldn't be in the locker room. Will it? It might be, and I agree. Mike Gundy's getting with the the OAN network shirt. Yeah, he's getting lashed for it because he brought it up, and then there's argument between Chuba Hubbard and himself. But everything,
Exactly. Like, I don't care that he wore the shirt at all, even though that shirt is against the Black Lives Matter movement. Who says every black person is for the Black Lives Matter movement? You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I have a problem with it. It's just the fact that sometimes in the locker room, brother, stick to football. Don't bring your politics and religion into this. I don't care if the brother was a daggone Satanist. Don't bring that into the politics. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring that up at all. And to your statement, Kenny, Zach, when he was like, should he be fired? Should he not? I feel like, do I think he needs to be fired? If I'm Oklahoma State, I'm looking at it from this perspective. You have a guy that's been aired out on the biggest platforms. He's all over ESPN for the wrong reasons. And let's remember, recruiting here guys may not want to go play for him now because Oklahoma State is a smaller school, even though it's D1, it's a smaller school compared to Oklahoma. So you still got to go up against Oklahoma, Texas for them.
But I don't know, dude. I don't know if I don't know if that's gonna Mike Gundy's been going up against that for years. You know, like I don't. You know, like Mason Rudolph, Des Bryant, guys like that, they weren't 5-star recruits coming out of high school. Texas football theoretically should be good every single year. And Oklahoma State most years is better.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good, but recently it's just been all Oklahoma. And I mean, this could
not even Oklahoma's an outlier. We know they're ridiculous. Like Will said, Oklahoma State's a small school. He's right. They Texas theoretically on paper should be better than them every single year, but they're not. And I think there's a reason.
If I was a recruit, I probably wouldn't go to Oklahoma State because I don't want to deal with those politics. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't think Mike Gundy's been doing this for such a long time, and you're right. This is not his first time. You guys remember his rant, "I'm a man, I'm 40.
Come after me. I'm a man, I'm 40.
You guys remember that? And that was in 2007, and everyone was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Meanwhile, 15 years later, he's still running a successful program, and the leading rusher in college football decided to come back when he easily could have entered the draft. I don't know. I think that says something about him and his program.
Listen, I can see where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong, Zach. You're on fire right now. You got a good point. You know what I'm saying? You made a lot of good points in this argument. But I'm just saying that because he's being aired out, and right now there's not a lot of stuff going on, so everybody's watching everything for content right now. So because he's being aired out, because like you said, Zach, nobody came out before, but Chuba Hubbard came out now, and he's the leading rusher in the nation. So he came out, and players stood by him that was on Oklahoma State. And now with an allegation that came out recently about him using a racial slur, you add all that together. Then if you're a recruit and you had an offer from Oklahoma and Oklahoma State and you was like, listen, I'm in the middle, you're probably going to go to Oklahoma now, or you're going to go somewhere else. And Oklahoma State, the biggest thing in college football, one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing, is recruiting. And because Oklahoma State has always been statistically behind Oklahoma and Texas for those major recruits, I don't see this even helping them at all.
What's going on, guys? First and foremost, on behalf of the In the Huddle crew, we would like to wish all the fathers out there a very happy Father's Day. We appreciate all you do, and we hope that you enjoy your day because you deserve it.